Kate. Welcome to Covert Narcissist 101. Thank you for joining me. And guys, if you haven't subscribed, guys, please do not forget to like and share as well. Today's topic is why the narcissist wanted joint or full custody with you. Why the narcissist wanted joint or full custody with you. They spend so much time going back and forth with you in court just so they can have, they can ask for this. And it doesn't even matter that, they are not the caregiver, the full-time caregiver for the kids, or they are participating in any way for the, helping the kids. It doesn't matter. They will fight you once the relationship is over. And this is the reason why. One, of course, is that, just like everything else, the kids are actually a supply. And if there are no other kids where they're going, with a new supply, the new supply doesn't have any kids with them, or they don't have kids with the new supply, they will try to fight for these kids that you have to have with you. Why? Simply because it's just a supply. They need the kids around to continue doing what they actually need from people, which is to provide supply. So they'll fight with you to have joint custody or full custody, even though when they're literally never been around to help with the kids in any way, or they are there, but it's like they're not there. But they fight with you like somehow they just discovered that, oh, okay, I want to be a good mom now. I want to be, a good father now. So, yeah, they fight with you. No, this is because wherever they're going to, or the new supply, they have no kids. And just like they use everybody else's supply, they need the kids to be around. So they fight for joint custody or full custody, even when it's ridiculous that they're, making this request. Another one is they need to impress the new supply. This is part of the new supply's love bomb phase, to show how dedicated they are as a parent. So they want to show the new supply how far they are willing to go for their kids, because they are good parents, they're a good father, they're a good mother. So I'm going to fight for my kids. I want to have my kids and all of that. So this is part of the new supply's love bomb phase, where they, really, really lock them down with this by presenting something like, being, a dedicated parent. And of course, the new supplier, thinking, oh, this is really, of course, it's a good quality. Matter of fact, they will actually help them to fight you on this, because why are you trying to take the kids or share the kids when, this is so clearly a dedicated parent here, hands-on, father, hands-on mother. Why do you want that? They don't know the backstory, of course, but this is what they use to impress, in quote, the new supply by fighting you tooth and nail to get the, have joint custody or full custody of the kids. Another one is, this of course is, they don't want to pay any child support. And I've seen this so many times with people where they pretend to share the kids. They want to have joint custody, but all they are trying to avoid is paying child support. That's it. Because when they actually give them the joint custody, which I have seen, you realize that it's not 50-50, it's not 60-40, it's not even close. They'll probably be seeing them like every other weekend, because the other days they're not available for it. But they were in court with you, though, to fight for joint custody. But they will not be around. Why? Because this means that they don't pay child support. They do not pay child support. And I hope if it is not written down, if it's not in court, or if this cannot be some kind of agreement between people to begin with, because they're actually not following the court orders sometimes, much less when there's no order written down. So they do this to avoid paying child support. Yes, they'll fight you for joint custody, because that way nobody needs to pay anybody child support. But then they show that when this happens, they are not there for the joint child custody that they said they wanted. Another one is, it's easier to control you this way. If you have kids that they're sharing, if they, you joint custody with a child, or, they're busy filing for full custody, is easier. This is where they try to cross your boundaries every now and then using the kids, because if you have full custody of the kids, you probably don't need to talk to them about anything. But if you're sharing the kids, this is a way they feel they need to control you. They might be like, oh, well, if we don't do that, well, I guess Tommy's not going to get, that car, or Tommy's not going to get that shirt. Well, if that's what you're saying, well, that's not going to happen, So, I mean, here is where you fully engage in maintaining your boundaries. You do not indulge the kid. You don't let them use the kids to manipulate or control you, unless this is something that the child really needs, and, they've disappointed them, and then you come through. But other than that, you do not fall for this, because they will use this to jerk you around. Well, if you don't want Anna to get that, or, well, if they want this to happen, so they'll use this to change and control across your boundaries. No, do not let that happen, because that's why they wouldn't join custody, because that way they would be able to use this to control your movement, your time, whatever you guys got going over there. They will do that. Another one is they need the continuous link to you. This kind of ties down with the supply issue. You see, when you have joint custody, it gives them excuse of them having, we already linked to them because we have kids with them, right? But this presents a case where they're not open, talk to you anytime they want. If you, like me, that I've gotten emails, text messages in the middle of the night, this is them when the new supply is not working or whatever. They have this reason, if you will, to trying to send some kind of message. So sometimes you might have these people showing up randomly around your house because they feel, we have joint custody, and they hide under that, that umbrella of trying to be around because, we share kids, or they, they use the kids, of course, as a reason to contact you in the middle of the night. Even like somebody like me, that was the narcissist was asking me about taxes. Who did you claim on the taxes? When it was clearly set down in the divorce decree, who is claiming who, so this is a year or so later when he asked me that. So they use the kids as an excuse to try to have a conversation now, because if I have replied and then it will go back and forth, that's what they want. They want that link, especially if the new supply is not supplying that week. This is what they will do. So, but to shut that down. To shut that down. Just because you're sharing kids does not mean you're available to them like you were when you were together. Shut that whole thing down. Maintain your boundaries. They can't just show up at the house anytime they want. This is what happens, like I said, when they're trying to rewrite after they've already claimed joint custody, but then they decide when to be joint parented, be a joint in parenting, be parenting the kids. Don't allow that. Don't allow that. Of course, you make sure everything is written down as in the agreement, because these people, the only reason that they want these kids is the supply, impress the new supply, a form of way to control you, or to create a continuous link with you. That's why they fought for custody, even when they weren't around while you're together too. They could care less where the kids were. That was your job. But now you're surprised to see them in court trying to argue with you about custody, when they showed no interest before. All right, guys, get a hold of your mind and everything's to fall into place. Please like and share.